The Galactic University of Andromeda Prime was a marvel of interspecies cooperation. Crystalline towers stretched into the purple sky, and hovering platforms carried students of 1,000 different worlds between lecture halls. Among the chittering insectoids, the towering Crothians, and the phosphorescent luminari, human students were a rare sight. Nancy Chen sat in the back corner of advanced xenobiology, her head down, stylus moving silently across her datapad. Her black hair fell like a curtain around her face, and she hadn't spoken a word to anyone in the 3 months since term began. The other students, most of them non-human, barely registered her existence. Another invisible human. Clicked Exara, a Mattis-like Vespid, to her cluster mate. They're all so forgettable. Parker Williams heard the comment from to rows ahead. The tall human turned, frowning, but Nancy's expression never changed. She simply continued her notes, as if she existed in a world entirely separate from the one around her. Parker had noticed her, though. Hard not to when there were only 5 humans on the entire campus. He'd tried to introduce himself twice, but she just nodded politely and walked away. Mystery girl, he'd started calling her in his head that evening. As twin moons rose over the campus gardens, Parker was studying near the observation deck when the emergency alarms shattered the silence. Alert, alert, xenomorph. Breach in Sector 7. All students evacuate to designated safe zones. Parker's blood ran cold. Xenomorphs, the galaxy's apex predators. Unstoppable killing machines that had wiped out entire colonies. 3 months ago, a research vessel had tried to study them. Only one escape pod made it out. Students stampeded past him, a chaos of limbs, wings, and tentacles. Security drones zipped overhead, their weapons charging. Parker ran toward the safe zone with everyone else, but something made him glance back. Nancy was walking, not running, walking in the opposite direction. Nancy, he shouted, but she didn't stop. Against every survival instinct, Parker turned and followed her. She moved through the empty corridors with purpose, heading straight toward Sector 7. As they descended deeper into the research levels, the screaming of rending metal echoed through the halls. Nancy, what are you doing? Parker caught up to her, grabbing her shoulder. She stopped and looked at him for the first time. Really looked at him. Her eyes were calm, dark pools without a trace of fear. Go back to the safe zone, she said quietly. Her voice was soft, almost gentle. There's a xenomorph down here. I know. She reached into her jacket and pulled out a small device. With practiced efficiency, she pressed a sequence of buttons. The device unfolded, then expanded, then reconfigured itself into something Parker recognized from military broadcasts. A plasma edge combat blade, illegal on 70% of civilized worlds. What the who are you? Nancy smiled, and it was terrifying in its serenity. The quiet girl from your xenobiology class. She paused. And before that, the Wraith of Kepler Station, Scourge of the Andromeda Sector. The one who cleared the xenomorph hive on Colony 7 when the military said it was impossible. Parker's mouth went dry. The Wraith was a legend, a ghost story told to scare pirates and slavers. The most merciless hunter in known space, responsible for eliminating threats the Galactic Federation couldn't touch. That's you. A screech erupted from the corridor ahead. The xenomorph emerged 3 meters of chitinous black armor, extending jaws dripping acid. Claws designed to tear through starship hulls. Nancy stepped forward. The creature lunged with blinding speed. She was faster. Parker had never seen anything move like her. She flowed around the xenomorph's attack, her blades singing through the air in arcs of blue plasma. The creature's tail whipped toward her head. She ducked without looking, as if she'd known it was coming. Her blade found the joint between armor plates, sinking deep. Acid blood sprayed, but Nancy had already moved, her trajectory calculated to avoid every drop. The xenomorph roared and attacked with renewed fury. Nancy's expression never changed from that serene calm. She was a dancer, and death was her partner. 3 minutes. That's all it took. The galaxy's apex predator lay in pieces on the floor, its acid blood contained by emergency force fields Nancy had activated with precise shots to the corridor. Generators, she cleaned her blade on a piece of debris and it folded back into its compact form. Parker stared, speechless. Why? He finally managed. "Why are you here, pretending to be a student?" Nancy looked at him, and for a moment, something sad flickered in her eyes. "Because I'm tired, Parker. I've been hunting for 10 years. Since I was 15. I wanted to try being normal. To see if I could just be a girl going to class, studying xenobiology, maybe making a friend. You saved everyone, again, I know." She started walking back toward the upper levels. "And now they'll know who I am. The Galactic News Network will run the story. The Federation will want me for consultation. The quiet life ends." Parker walked beside her. "For what it's worth, I think you're pretty good at being normal. You take excellent notes." She laughed an actual, genuine laugh. "Really, that's your takeaway? Well, you are really quiet in class." Security forces poured into the corridor behind them. Weapons ready. Far too late. They stopped, staring at the dissected xenomorph, then at the small human girl walking calmly away. "You know," Parker said, "being friends with the galaxy's most merciless hunter might be interesting. If you're still looking for that friend." Nancy glanced at him, and something in her expression softened. "I might be, but fair warning, trouble tends to find me." "Yeah," Parker grinned. "I'm starting to figure that out." As they emerged into the purple twilight of the campus gardens, emergency lights still flashing around them, Nancy allowed herself a small smile. Maybe normal was overrated anyway, but having someone who knew the truth and still wanted to walk beside her, that was something worth hunting for.